Well, the David Thorn star Expensive Ego continues to build towards his return to the racetrack, but a former Kiwi, Red Reactor, certainly caught the eye here last Saturday night. He goes around against Wolfstride on Saturday night here at Clubman Angle. I got the thoughts of his trainer, David Thorn, concerning his prospects. Well, David, before we get into your outstanding colt, Expensive Ego, and where he's at this particular stage of his preparation, you walked over here and you've pulled up very lame from indoor cricket last night.
Yeah, I pulled a muscle in my calf, so pretty sore, so lucky I don't have to do too much running.
Don't they describe that, David, as old man's injuries, calf muscles?
I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
More importantly, did you win?
No, we ended up getting beat, so they're blaming me for it.
Rubbing salt into the wound, so to speak.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, let's get back to Expensive Ego. David, your star performer, 6 from 6. When can we see this fella back in action?
Yeah, he had his first trial last week and just had a quiet trial. He's trialling again tomorrow. He'll have a little bit more of a serious trial tomorrow, and then we'll probably look for a race for him in the next week or 10 days after that. So, obviously Breeders' Challenge is his main aim. We're just trying to work around that.
Yeah, there's been talk that he may be in danger of not getting into the field.
Yeah, they've changed the conditions where they're picking the field now for the heats on dollars earned this season, and obviously he hasn't raced, so he hasn't got any money. So we're just hoping they get enough heats where he does get a run. So, it's sort of, I think everyone's entitled to get one run in one heat, but that's the way it is. So we just got to hope we have a bit of luck and can get a run.
David, you had a few issues with him after his previous campaign. It's been a very astute and a very patient wait, as far as you're concerned, getting him back.
Yeah, that's right. He's had a slight tendon tear, and we've done all the rehab with it. And touch wood, at this stage, it looks really good. He come through the trial really good, so we're sort of not worried too much how he goes. We know he goes good. We're more worried about how his leg pulls up after the race. So last week was really good. So yeah, I mean, look, they're day-to-day propositions, horses that have had legs. So we're not getting too carried away with ourselves, but at this stage, his leg does look really good.
David, you nearly pulled off an outstanding plunge here last Saturday night with Red Reactor, a former Kiwi, just going down over the final stages. Tough a task, but gee, that was an impressive performance.
Yeah, I think he's a nice enough horse. To be fair, he shouldn't have been 50 to 1. He probably should have been 10 to 1. He's had a pretty good record in New Zealand, and so they just probably got it wrong a little bit at the start, but it definitely wasn't any of my money. But he went very good. He was a little bit green. He was shying at the mobile. He was behind the actual car, so he was a little bit balky at that. But I think once he has a few runs here, he'll go better again.
He settled 4 back on the pegs last Saturday night, David. Where do you see him this week?
Yeah, it probably should be a little bit closer, I think. I'll just have to leave it up to Jack, whether we go to the fence again or sort of chance our arm a little bit. I think a lot of them will go to the fence. We might be able to end up in a handy spot, so we'll just leave that up to Jack and how the race is going to be panned. The better horses have drawn out wide, so hopefully there's plenty of power on.
Coming from New Zealand, David, this track is certainly going to suit him.
Yeah, that's why he got sent here. He's actually he was trained at Cambridge, and he got round our way of going really good at Cambridge, but he got too high in grade, and so he had to race at Alexandra Park, which he said he's not as good going that way. So that's the reason he come here, and he's a really big horse and big gawky horse. So I think the style of racing here will really suit him.
You're up against Wolfstride. Can you end his winning run?
Oh, he's a pretty good horse, I mean, I think with even luck, he's probably too good, but Star Major's drawn inside Wolfstride, so I think he went massive last week. I think if he can stay in front of him, I don't think he'll let him go to the front. So if they have bad luck and we have a bit of good luck, we can beat them, but I think on even terms, Wolfstride's probably too good.
And Dave, you've come up looking outstanding. You've got your own colours there as a face mask.
Yeah, that's right. I went into Garrard's and they had an orange one. I said, well, that's me.